Bepper here, and welcome to another video. So, I apologize for not posting the past, week or so. I have been on vacation, and I'm just kind of enjoying it. Because in 2 days, I will be going back to school, and I will have finals, and I will have state testing, and it's not gonna be fun. So I just wanted to have a bit of fun before I'm trapped in jail for the next, few months. And even though I didn't post any actual videos, I did live stream a ton this week, so if you want, I will put a playlist in the description of this video, and you can watch all of my live streams that I have posted in the past week. They're all unlisted, which means basically if you go to my channel, you won't be able to see them. The only way you'll be able to access them is through the link in the description below through the playlist. Anyway, one day while I was live streaming, I forget which day it was. I think it was the last live stream I did, and I'm not really sure what day that was. Maybe Thursday or Friday, but I can't be too sure because I am terrible with dates. Anyway, one of the days, someone asked me to rate their den, so I'm like, heck yeah, I'll rate your den. And so I went to their den, and it was a zoo, and that inspired me to make my own zoo. So what I did was I went to, Serapia Forest, I think it was, and went down the slide, and then I went to the shop with a bunch of topiaries, and I got topiaries, and then I got a bunch of other stuff, and I made myself a zoo. Because why the heck not? So I just kind of wanted to give you a zoo den tour because I love zoos, and why wouldn't anyone else like zoos? So let's go ahead and get started on this zoo tour. Yeah, let's do it. So you come upstairs, up these lovely stairs, this lovely staircase. Follow the path right over to here, and this is the wolves enclosure. So this is the place where you would stop if you're looking at the wolves, you know, because you don't want to go into the enclosure with the wolves. Because if you weren't a wolf and you went into the enclosure with the wolves, they're gonna kill you. So instead, let's be smart for a second and turn into a wolf as we go into the wolf enclosure, because we don't want to die, you know, so let's just turn into this wolf. And this little enclosure is for Arctic wolves and wolves, you know, we don't discriminate against wolves. So we have a nice little area, we have a few trees, we have some flowers, and then we have a cave, of course, because wolves, you know, caves, all that. And it's a pretty great cave. I mean, it has, a wolf on the cave, I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm pretty sure that means it's an awesome cave. Then we can move on up to here. And this, as you can see from this topiary, is the Koala Exhibit. And also from this little lookout post for the koalas, you can also kind of see the wolves a bit better, which is really awesome. So let me go ahead and switch into a koala so we can investigate just a bit further. Let's go to this koala. This koala seems like he would enjoy life in a zoo. So, you know, I'm not really sure what koalas do, or what koalas do in zoos. I mean, I know that they eat eucalyptus leaves, but this bamboo was the closest thing I had, so, you know, I tried. I'm not sure if they sleep in trees or if they sleep on the ground, so I just kind of, you know, made something up. So they have a little clover patch and a little fish pond because, you know, they need to drink water because they're mammals and they need water, I guess. And then just nature, you know, just beautiful nature. I'm not really sure if the wolves have any water, which doesn't make much sense, so give me 1 second. I mean, I could give them a hippo fountain, but then again, it has a hippo on it. I think that might scare the wolves. So you know what? The wolves are just gonna be forever dehydrated. Anyway, let's move up onto this giant staircase where we see the next exhibit. Which, as you can see from this topiary up here, it's the Kangaroo Exhibit, so I don't even know if I have a kangaroo. Okay, guys, this is risky business because I don't have a kangaroo, and as we all know, kangaroos are the wrestlers of the animal kingdom. And I don't have a kangaroo, and if there's a kangaroo in that exhibit right now, it's gonna kill me. So let's just be very careful. Actually, you know what? Koalas and kangaroos are both marsupials, you know, they're both Australians, so I feel like I might be able to get away with just being a koala in this exhibit. But if you guys come to see my zoo, you better be a kangaroo if you're going into this exhibit, otherwise you might die. I'm not even making this up. It's a real problem, okay? So anyway, they have a nice little enclosure. I think this one is the most aesthetically pleasing enclosure out of all of them. So they have a tree in this corner. It's a very nice tree, and you know, in the winter it sheds its leaves. It's just how nature works, I guess. But you know, there's a tree right there, and then there's a wheelbarrow full of, you know, some flowers. Some nice, pretty flowers. And then over here we have another tree, and it peeks over into that enclosure. Hopefully the kangaroos don't decide to jump over these walls, because, I mean, then they'd be in the panda enclosure, which we'll go over in a minute, and I don't know if pandas and kangaroos will get along, because one's a bear and one is a roo, so I don't know, man. Anyway, they have this little water thing, and you might be asking why they have a giant nest. Well, you know what, I know they're not birds, but they still kind of like to have a little cozy spot. At least I think so anyway. I don't know. I'm not a kangaroo expert. But I feel like if I were a kangaroo, I would like a nice cozy nest to sleep in every night, okay? Then we're moving on to the panda enclosure, which I think is adorable. I made it pretty small because I don't think pandas move around a whole lot. I also don't have a panda, but pandas are supposed to be like nice and cuddly even though they're bears. I feel like people forget sometimes that even though pandas are really cute, they're still bears. Bears can still kill you. So, I mean, I gotta be very careful here, but you know, the panda is neighbors with the kangaroo, and the kangaroos are pretty cool with koalas, so I'm thinking that the koala will be okay. Yeah, I don't see any pandas coming to attack me, so you know, it seems okay. So in this little enclosure, we have the Panda Topiary, obviously, because it's a panda enclosure, and we have a bunch of bamboo, because that's like the only thing they will ever eat, apparently. And we have a little pond, and then just a bunch of space for them to, you know, walk in or sleep in, because, I mean, they're pandas. I don't know what they do really in their spare time. They kind of just eat and sleep. So that's the first section of the zoo. Now we're walking over into the petting zoo part of the zoo. Because all great zoos have a petting zoo part of the zoo. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The nice little animals, like the sheep and the pigs, and you feed them. Like, for 50 cents, you get some food, and then you feed them, you know? At least at any zoo near me, they have petting zoos in the zoos, so we're gonna go into the petting zoo. I feel like I could be my main character going into here, because I don't think any of these animals are very hostile. So, you know, just open the gate, and then you walk on in. You gotta close the gate, okay? We don't want any pigs on the loose. That'd be a bad situation. So, I don't really know what petting zoos are like for you guys, but for me, they basically just have a giant barn where the animals sleep, and then just like a little pasture place for them, and that's where the people go in, and they feed the animals and stuff. So that's what I kind of made this one like, except they don't really have a barn because it's too small for that. So basically they have, you know, some water and a tree thing. It's not even a tree. It's just kind of like a bird house thing. You know, they can't even use that house. They're not birds. They're pigs, and they are llamas, and they are bunnies, and, you know, sheep, or whatever else wants to come into here. But they are definitely not birds, so I don't really know why I put that in. I don't know. It looks really cute, so I did. So that's where the nice animals of the world go. But if you're wondering where the not so nice animals of the world go, I'll show you in just a minute. But first we have to have a cookie break, and this is what this table is for. It's for a cookie break. And now we're gonna go see the scary animals of the world. And the scary animals are off to this side, because why not? You know, we don't want to see the scary animals near the little pigs and goats and sheeps and whatever. You want to see the scary animals away from them. Like, you don't want them mingling. You don't want the scary mixed with the adorable. Because then in your nightmares, you're gonna see scary sheep. Nobody likes a scary sheep, so the scary and the cute have to be separated. And this is where the scary is. The crocs! Yeah, guys, the crocodiles. They gotta be separated. I feel like crocodiles probably eat sheep. Like, they eat zebras and stuff, or is that alligators? I don't know, but they're pretty similar. So, like, they eat zebras and stuff. What stops them from eating sheep? Nothing. They would go into that petting zoo and eat all the sheep. So, you know what? We gotta be an alligator to go into this exhibit. Like, I got away with being a koala going into the other ones, but no, this koala would die. So we gotta be an alligator going into the alligator exhibit, okay? So it has a spooky little cave. Okay, you know what? I'm talking about them being super scary and stuff, and I have a pink alligator. Or crocodile, or whatever this thing is called. So I need to spook it up a bit. Let's make this thing a bit spookier than it is. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, there we go. Now it's a mean, scary alligator. So it lives in this cave with vines growing on it, because I feel like that added to the spookiness. And then we just see some bones scattered on the shoreline, because, you know, its latest victims. And then it spends most of its time in the water, and that's what this is. It's a little pool of water. And I've already tested it, but you can't go down the little waterfall, so you know what? This little fence right here is good enough. Back to being my main character now, because I don't want it to seem like there's an escaped crocodile on the loose. That'd be bad. Here's just a little scenic gazebo. It's pretty cute. And then you go down here, and you think the scariness is over, but no. The scariness is not over. You come down here, and what's this over here? It's the lion exhibit. Lions, I mean, they're awesome. They're like my favorite animal, but they're still pretty scary. So like, they're in the scary part of the zoo. They're not like super close to the alligator though, because you know, the alligator is super scary. And the lions aren't as scary. They're actually really majestic and beautiful animals, but like, they can get scary, you know? So this is their little exhibit. You know, since they live in Asia or Africa or one of those named continents, it's kind of like deserty over there. You know, there's not much greenery. You know, you gotta make the climate appropriate for the animal, you know? And that's what I did. This zoo is all about being wonderful. Anyway, let's move on to the other stuff in this zoo, which is also even more awesome than previously mentioned. So now that you're out of the scary animals section, we're back into the cute animal section. Now, this is the seal exhibit, which I love this part because you can see it from like tons of different angles. You can see it from down here if they're in the water, but you know where else you can see it? You can see it from up on the bridge and you get like a half and half angle. Like you can see them on land, or you can see them in the water, or you go up here and you can see them just on land if they're all hanging out on land. So yeah, I love the seal exhibit, but I don't like seals. So I already know for a fact that I do not have a seal animal. Like, I don't have one whatsoever because I don't like the animal seal on Animal Jam. I don't know why, but they just look weird. But anyway, I think that I can get away with being a pilot penguin right now because pilot penguins, they are pilots and they're also penguins. So, you know, they can probably just dive under this bridge if any seals come to like mess with us. Or it can just take flight and it's plain because, you know, it's a pilot. But anyway, here is the little seal exhibit. It has some land. It has some water. I mean, you know, all the usual stuff that you'd find in a seal exhibit. I love seals in real life, but like seals in Animal Jam are kind of weird looking, so I didn't pay much attention to them when making this exhibit. So I basically dedicated a giant river to the otter because why not? Like, otters are so adorable. So they got this entire section of river right here. And it's a lovely exhibit. You can see them from a ton of different angles, and then you go on this bridge and you can see them from different angles. And then you go up here into this little section right here and you can see them on land. Wow, what a lovely exhibit. There's a nest right here because, I mean, I know that otters don't really make nests, but they need a spot to sleep, okay? They're still loving, nurturing animals. They need a spot to sleep. They also have this rock right here if they want to like bask in the sun or whatever. I don't know what otters do in their spare time. I'm not like an otter scientist, but I do know that they are land and otter land and otter animals. I meant land and water animals, so they're semi-aquatic. That's the word. So I gave them some land, I gave them some water, and I'm like, you know what? Have fun, you little otters. Then in this section we have the monkeys, and as you can see, I've already given them some bananas, I've given them some trees to climb. I'm not sure I have a monkey on Animal Jam because I don't really like the Animal Jam monkeys. Yeah, I don't, but you know what I can be? I can be a bird because I can fly over the monkeys and the monkeys won't be able to kill me. I don't know why, I just do not like them. I have heard stories of them ripping off people's faces. They are like my mom's favorite animal, and yeah, Curious George is a really adorable cartoon, but I do not like monkeys in real life. That being said, I did give the Animal Jam monkeys, you know, a nice little enclosure. They have some bananas over here, they have a banana tree, they have some trees you can climb in, they have bamboo all around, you know, it's a pretty nice enclosure. They have a pretty nice life for themselves. And then, down over here, the last little exhibit of the night is the bird exhibit. Now, I mean, for the person onlooking the animals in the enclosure, you don't really get that much of a view, because, like, you get this view, or you get this view, it's not much of a view, you can't even see the tops of the trees, so really, if you want to go to the aviary, you kind of have to be a bird to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and switch into a bird and see what the bird's eye view is like. Get it? I said bird's eye view because they're birds. Anyway, this is the one enclosure where having a nest in it makes sense, so I put a nest in there, obviously. Then we have this mushroom chair, and you're like, Bepper, what are you doing? Why did you put a chair in there? They're birds. They won't, like, sit in a chair like a human. Yeah, but it makes for a beautiful-looking perch. Because birds like perches, and so you can perch up here on this little mushroom thing. You can perch down here on the seat. You can just hang out and do whatever. You can make a nest if you wanted to. Even though there's already a nest right there, you can make a nest in the mushroom chair, you know? Whatever suits your bird's life. You know what? You can do it. Or maybe the mushroom is a source of food for the bird. You never know, so that's why I put that there. I don't really know any mushrooms that need to be sustained only by eating mushrooms, but I put a mushroom chair in there anyway. And then here is a tree, obviously, for obvious reasons, because they're birds, and so, you know, they need trees to sit in and make nests in, even though their nest is on the ground floor, which doesn't really make sense unless you're like, I don't know, some strange bird that makes nests on the floor. The reason they make nests in trees is so they can protect their little eggs. But, like, if you make a nest on the ground, you're kind of a failure at being a bird because your little babies are going to be killed. And that's the lesson we all learned today. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I sure enjoyed making this den. It literally took me hours, even though it seems like it's a very basic den. It took me, like, literally 4 hours to make this den, and I don't know why it took that long, but it just did. I tried my best. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Good.